everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena if you are new here. The point of this project is that I wanted to give some of my Black friends a platform to speak their truth. And I didn't just want them to speak their truth, I wanted them to tell us who they really are, because it feels like society has decided who we are. I want everyone to watch this video and understand that this is not a representation of the Black experience as a whole. We cannot, as a small select group, represent a whole community, but I just hope that you listen to our stories and you see our faces and you understand that we are human, we are strong, and we always overcome. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy. I have always been well aware that there is privilege within the Black community if you have lighter skin. And as someone who does have lighter skin, I recognize my privilege. But I also want to shed light on my experience as a Black woman who has been put into predominantly white spaces my entire life. I've realized that the biggest struggle of all for me has been finding my voice in these spaces. Since I can remember, I know that I have always been painted out as a person who comes across sassy, as unapproachable, scary, intimidating. Those are just a few things that even people that I have become friends with have described me as when they first met me, not even speaking to me yet. That has been actually very damaging to me because I have had trouble in making friendships and feeling like I always have to be the person that approaches someone else because I know that the way that I look in my face, it's unapproachable. This is a common misconception among Black women that we just aren't nice, and it's not true, and it has made it hard for me to form relationships. My parents really protected me my entire life. They made sure that we had the best life we could, and if anyone ever tried to hurt us or bully us or anything like that, my parents would always step in. What I say, my first real experience with racial profiling when I was about 12 or 13 years old was when I walked to a CVS with my group of white friends. I used to go there with my parents all the time. There was never a problem. But this particular time, from the moment that I stepped into this CVS, I was targeted by a white worker. She proceeded to follow me around the store and harass me, and she directly kept saying to me that I couldn't afford anything in the store. I am looking for candy. My parents never let me leave the house without money. She didn't leave me alone for the entire time that I was in there. This experience sticks out to me so much because I was so embarrassed to be treated this way in front of my friends, to be accused of something that I never did, never would do. The color of my skin made me a thief. Of course, I told my parents, and so I'm saying all of this to say that I was nurtured my entire life. Even when I did have these experiences, my parents always came to my rescue. So it was a rude awakening when I went to college, and I attended a college that was 96% white at the time. My first weekend in college, I was called the N-word by college boys in a car driving by, and they saw me and my friend, and they called us the N-word and told us to get out of there. And I tried to let that roll over me. But like I said before, finding my voice in predominantly white spaces has been something that I've struggled with. So I didn't use my voice in that instance. And I look back and I'm disappointed in myself for that. We felt like we didn't belong there. I realize I'm on my own now. I need to find my own voice. It was a real struggle dealing with that. I had people in my college that never ever met a Black person in their life and felt that they could say to me that they thought that the stereotypes about Black people were true, but that I was the whitest Black person that they met. And you would think that people at that age would know better, but they didn't, because I spoke clearly, because I was educated. That equals white, and that is just something that I have continuously dealt with for my entire life.
Firstly, I just want to thank you, Selena, for using your platform to give a voice to the voiceless. I think it's time that we start being heard, and this is a perfect way for people to hear us. As far as the racism I faced, not much of it has been blatant or to my face. A lot of it has been microaggressions, which at this point are equally as bad because they're rooted in internalized racism and ignorance. People just aren't willing to learn, even though there's literally information at the forefront to educate them. Going to a PWI, I've found myself constantly having to apologize for my blackness and the way I'm perceived because of it. People telling me and my friends telling me how people have been like, Darius is so sassy and he's rude, he has an attitude, he's disinterested. And I don't think these people understand that all of this is rooted in their hate for black people, their anti-blackness. They don't know a black person, but they are quick to judge them off stereotypes they've heard. And for specific instances, my teacher, my white teacher, the first time I ever dyed my hair, I dyed it blonde. And I came to class, and her first response to me was, Darius, you're so sassy. Sassy? That's what it is at this point. And as if that already wasn't bad, another student, a white male, came in a few weeks later with blonde hair. Do you think he got the same response? No. He was so cute, cunning, and out of the box. I don't even remember what else they said about him, but it was a completely different response. I don't really know how to feel about it at this point, because you just need to be more self-aware when you're speaking to people of color, or let me just say black people at this point, because it's not synonymous.
Hi, I'm Sophia, and when I discuss negative things that were said to me or that I've been called because of my race as a black woman, I have to really emphasize the privilege that I have because of the lightness of my skin, and that comes with a pretty extreme amount of privilege. And so a lot of the things that have been said to me that are negative are targeted at my blackness as if to make me feel that blackness in general is a bad thing. So some examples of this could be, when I first transitioned to going curly, I used to perm my hair, and when I first transitioned, I had people who actually referred to my hair as nappy, or like gave unsolicited opinions about my hair. Also, I remember an experience growing up where someone jokingly referred to me as like an albino African because of the wideness of my nose apparently, and gave me like a generic African name in an attempt to make me feel bad, like it was supposed to be funny, a joke. And yeah, so because I come from this place of privilege, I've also had things said to me because people view me and they exclude me from the black community. And I've had guys say to me, oh, I don't like black girls. And they felt comfortable saying that to me. And I've retorted, you know, I'm a black girl. And they've said, oh, but I don't mean like you. And that's something that comes along with the privilege of being able to not be thought of as fully black or something, but that hurts me regardless because half of my family is black and I identify strongly with my blackness. So I'm not the type of person who takes that as a compliment or finds it cute.
Thinking about things that have been said to me that were harmful regarding my race, I automatically thought of my hair, and all the things that would be said, negative things that would be said about my hair would always be coming from other black people, which was so sad to think about because it just shows how much self-hate has been ingrained and perpetuated in our communities throughout the years since slavery. And when I was in 5th grade, this young black boy, you know, we were in the same class, and just randomly he called me a nappy-headed hoe. And I was like, I didn't know what that meant. I didn't really understand what exactly it meant, but I knew that it didn't sound great, it didn't feel great, and I told my mom, and she told me what it meant, and that was probably the first time I started to like really hate my hair and hate that it didn't grow out of my scalp a different texture, a straighter texture. And when I was in dance school with my other black friends, a lot of girls who had straight hair, whose moms would straighten their hair, they would come at me for not having permed hair or not having weave or straightened hair, especially when we were younger. And that just made me want to straighten my hair even more, to the point where I would, you know, sneak and buy flat irons and straighten my hair a little bit to get it like looking blow dried, and my mom would always find them and throw them away. But yeah, that was my experience with my hair growing up.
Being black in a world that is very much still racist that is hostile towards certain groups of people because of their background, their skin color, what their hair looks like. It's very difficult. And when I think about my childhood, I think about all of the microaggressions that were said in passing and didn't register as offensive or as racist in the moment. But now I fully understand the dangers and the severity of telling somebody when they speak proper English and they're a person of color, they talk so white, or even being surprised when they are articulate. That's a slap in the face. I've been told you're like an Oreo, black on the outside, white on the inside. Like that's a good thing, like I should be proud of that. When I'm told, I don't see color, you're my friend, I don't see color with you. What you're telling me is that my experiences as a woman of color doesn't really matter to you. You saying, I don't see race, I don't see color, we're all one race, the human race. I don't care how good your intentions are, but you have to realize that I don't want you to not see race. I want you to see me, and I want you to see my brothers and sisters of color. I want you to see my Black family members and my Black friends. I want you to acknowledge everything that they have gone through and everything that white people have put them through. I want you to see those things. Being the only person of color in a classroom and leading by example, if we're having a discussion about Black and Latinx experiences, don't call me out. I'm not your token Black girl. I'm not your token Afro-Latina. I am not your token anything. If you want to have a conversation with me, that's one thing. But being the only person of color in a room does not mean you get to use that person to teach somebody a lesson.
You know, one day, you're gonna do 15 years to life. You know, one day you're gonna do 15 years to life. You're gonna be in prison for a very long time. You look suspicious. We have probable cause to stop you because you look suspicious. You're one of the lucky ones. You make me nervous. I don't know if I should say everything around you. Can you not be too urban? Can you be more Black? You make me uncomfortable. You make me scared. This is not a right fit for you. I think you should be at a HBCU. Can you dumb down your Blackness just a little bit? You're one of the good ones. You're one of the good Black people. Everyone deserves the right to say the N-word.
I am so happy and I am so proud of my ancestors and all the Black activists who have made it easy for me to infiltrate these white spaces. And that's what I love the most about my Blackness. We don't give up. We will be heard. We should be afforded the same opportunity as everyone else. I just love how we persevere. We are the one group of people who everyone is allowed to be mad at, who everyone is allowed to hate. But that hasn't stopped us.
Some things that I love about myself are the exact things that I was made fun of for growing up, which is my hair. I love my hair, and I love my nose, and I love every physical embodiment of the rich Black history of my ancestors, which you can see on my body, even though I am a light-skinned woman. And going past the more superficial stuff, I love my intelligence, which stereotypes of Blackness couldn't take away from me. And I just graduated from Binghamton University with a 3.5 GPA as a biology major, and no one ever expected me to be a biology major when they saw me, just because of stereotypes of who are in these STEM fields. So I love that about myself, that it's like I accomplished something that people might not have thought I would want to accomplish or could accomplish. And also I'm artistic. I paint, I sing, I draw, I write. One other thing I love about myself is that even though I am a light-skinned woman, I acknowledge my privilege, and I'm not defensive about it. I know I have it, and I try to use whatever influence I can to speak up for my people. and I don't separate myself from them just because I have this privilege that may make some feel a little separated from the community, but I don't let that impact me.
The main thing I love about myself, I would have to say my eyes, just because I've gotten so many compliments on my eyes growing up. Whether it's because like I smile with them, or I love to give face when I'm taking pictures or dancing or whatever. But yeah, like I express myself a lot through my eyes, my pictures, videos, performing. Yeah.
When I see myself now, I see the beauty that I didn't see a few years ago as a young girl. I see my natural hair and I don't hate it. If I ever straighten my hair now, I have to remind myself I'm straightening my hair because I want to, not because I think it looks more beautiful and I hate my natural hair. I see myself as a smart, independent, strong woman of color, and I won't ever doubt my abilities. I see myself as somebody who will spend the rest of their life making sure that nobody will ever feel inferior and bad about themselves because of their skin color.
I want people to look for the best in themselves. I come from a people who came to this country to better themselves, who were rebellious, who were magnificent, who were great, who were strong, who their mere existence is a rebellion. My existence is a rebellion. I'm a writer, I'm an actor, I help people, I fight for what's right. I am black, with a chest, black. My color is a part of me.
I have felt in the past like I had to tone down my opinion. I had to tone down my voice so that people weren't afraid of me. And that's just bullshit. I am strong-willed, I am smart, have a lot of opinions, and I have the facts to back them up. And I'm not gonna let anyone silence me anymore. I'm gonna use my voice, whether that be in a predominantly white space or not. I won't be silenced anymore, and I hope that you won't let anyone silence your voice either. If you're watching this and you're not black, I hope that you took something useful from it, and I hope that you decide today that you're not going to be a part of the problem, you're going to be a part of the solution.